Just waiting for the other ones to go if anyone's on there. Hang on. Technically, I got 1 minute. There we go. Now we're both live on Facebook and Instagram, I think. I think I got this all down. Hi. My name is Megan Carley. I am the ceramic manager at the art school at Old Church, and I also teach there. Before we get started, I have a few things that I need to plug. So, my class is it's called Colorful Clay. It'll be on Thursdays from 9:15 to 12:15 p.m. I will be teaching a little bit of what we learned here today, but also some other techniques that I found. We are doing a raku with Danny Russo. It's on the 16th and 17th. It's a workshop. It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Both days. And he's a great teacher. He knows a lot. He's very knowledgeable about raku, about a lot of things. But if you guys can take that, it's a great class, or a great workshop. I am working, and see if I can carry you. I don't know if it's actually possible. Let's see. I'm working at Guttenberg Arts. So this is the studio. There's a pause, sorry about that. This is the studio. So Guttenberg Arts is a ceramic slash, the kilns are over there, slash print studio. They do firings for people that if they have a show coming up or you have ceramic pieces you need fired, we can do it here. It's great prices and we're very flexible. They also have it's called STAR residency. It's a space and time artist residency. So if you're looking to have a place to work and they have a small stipend that's also included, this is a great place to do it. You can find them at guttenbergarts.org, and I believe the residency just closed, but they will be opening up a new one coming soon. So if you don't see it now, check back. And yeah, it's a great place to work. Really good atmosphere and fun people. So I'm going to start. I'm going to move you around a little bit just so you can see. I'll be answering questions and such a little bit, probably midway through, hopefully, if I remember, and also at the end. So if you have questions, kind of leave them for the end if possible. Let's see. So I'm going to start with just throwing something that looks similar to this, if you can see. It's a marbled. So to do that, I'm using porcelain, and I'm using clay that's been colored by Mason stain. I will go over how to do that, how to mix the stains into the clay after I wedge this. So to get this, you want to be careful how much glue you use. You only want a little bit. So you can see this is about maybe like 1.5 pounds of clay, and it's only 3 strips of glue. So take off all. You're going to wedge it in. I only do it a small amount. So yeah, you can see both sides. So you want it so that it's incorporated, but not too much. Do about 10 or so. I'd say that's good. You can see. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to get this on the wheel and start throwing. There's a couple different things you can do. We can shape it. The one that I showed you over here, this will be, I'm actually going to cut this down and then put it back on the wheel and push it out so it's a little bit rounder. So you'll see in a little bit later. So this is ready for the wheel. So to mix, just real quick on your Mason stains, to mix your stains, let's put this back up here. Everyone can see me. To mix your stains, you can do it a couple ways. So I use slip, and I use actual, so I'll show you. So for this kind, for the actual clay, this is, I don't remember what clay body it is, but I think it's a stoneware, possibly porcelain. But what you want to do is take the mason stain, you want to make it into a water form. So also wear a mask when you do this and wear gloves. It can be toxic. I'm not wearing gloves right now, clearly. It's for the demo. But you do want to make sure you get safety. So mask, gloves, I'm sure all of you are used to that by now. And you mix it into a water form, and then you don't want it super wet. You want it a little bit clumpy. It's kind of, I don't want to say Play-Doh consistency, but like a cream consistency if you can get it like that. And you're going to make a little pocket in your clay, and you dump a little bit in, you're going to wedge it, and it will squirt out the sides. It's funny, but it's also messy, so do it on something that you can wipe down or something that you can throw away. And you just keep adding a little bit at a time. You actually don't need a lot. So this is, I would say this is oversaturated. It's a little too much. This is going to fire very, very blue. With mason stains, there are recipes to the amount, and you can put too much in, and then you're just oversaturating it, and you're wasting your mason stain. So I don't have those recipes right now. If you have my class, I will have them down for you. Hopefully you guys can see me. It's a little dark with those windows. So that's how I do it for clay that I actually want to add into my throwing. For slip, we have all different colors. I can't really turn the computer around, but I have about 10 different colors here. And to do that, you're going to take the powder, add it to the slip. So I use the porcelain slip, Cone 6. I'll add it in, and I actually use beaters for like making, cupcakes or something, and I'll beat it up, mix it up well, and then I send it through a sieve. I just do it once. I find it's fine. It's a 40 mesh sieve. Some other people do it 2 or 3 times. For me, the one time has been fine. You can do your own experiment and kind of see. If you don't do that step, you will get kind of grainy little chunks of blue in there, and you don't want that. It's a condensed mason stain that has been mixed in, and you want to avoid that. So make sure that when you mix it, you send it through the sieve. You can get those sieves at any ceramic store. They're everywhere. So let's see. Let's throw this colorful clay. I'm going to set you up. Let's see. I think I need a lead. That one. And let's go over here. Hopefully you guys can see okay. So, yeah. All right. So this is this bat is called a Dirty Girl bat. It actually has, this is an awesome thing. I love this thing. It comes out, and there's a little ring right here. And it comes with 10 bats, so you can throw 10 things, take them off real quick. It's great. It's definitely for, in a smaller pieces, right? If you're throwing something big, this obviously isn't going to work because it won't have the support on the edges. Let's make sure this is it. All right, here we go. Okay, so for these, you don't want to overthrow it. You don't have to be super fast, but it is helpful to kind of know what you're going for and get it done, because you don't want it to blend too much. So I'm not really going to go over a lot of what I'm doing on what I'm doing on the wheel specifically. I'll tell you my motions, but I'm assuming most people know how to throw. If you don't, I'm sorry. Come to my class, I'll teach you. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just setting my floor right now. I'm just going to do a really simple shape. It's just going to be like a coffee cup, you know, nothing crazy. You can obviously do whatever shape you like, and it comes out similar. But again, you want to move relatively quickly. Let's turn it down a little bit. So for this one, I'm going to throw this a little bit thick because I'll show you the next thing I'm going to demo. I'll be cutting the sides with the cheese grater, so you don't want to leave it too thin. Okay. Go. So it's my simple shape. Hopefully Facebook people can see this. Let's wash this off. So the trick for these, as you can see, it just looks kind of mucky right now. Not great. You need a rib. This is a metal rib. You get it from any ceramic store. I used to dislike these a lot until I started drawing with marbled clay, and now I love them. I've cut myself many a time trying to use them, so be careful, the edges are sharp. But let's turn this down a little bit. So you're going to clean it up on the sides, and you can see it automatically, it pulls out all that blue. So you'll do this again when you trim. And it will again pull it out. So if you take it off and you get fingerprints on it or something, don't worry about it. Again, you can clean it up when you trim, no problem. It seems like my Instagram is getting poor connections. So I'm sorry if there's a poor connection. I can see it on my Instagram, so hopefully it's not stopping. Sorry about that. Just going to trim this down. So you want to make this foot a little bit big because for this you're going to be cutting here. So you want to give yourself some room down here so that when you cut through, there's still a little bit of a foot. And again, you can trim this again once it's in dry enough. Okay, so you get a nice kind of swirl going on there. If you guys can see that. Instagrammers, Facebookers. Okay, so I'm not going to cut that off. I'm just going to leave that. So I'm going to get the one that I showed you guys earlier. Let's see. So this is the one that I threw before. It's set up a little bit better. I think it's ready. It might be a little bit wet. I'm gonna go for it. So you can use a cheese grater, or you can go get a ceramic tool. I prefer this. It's a little bigger, as Facebookers can see. And I would not use a wire tool. The wire tool is a little bit harder to control, and you can lose it pretty easily. So for this, you want to be very careful about not going all the way through. So hopefully it won't go all the way through. We'll see. So you take this, it's just lining it up here, and you're just going to cut down. And you can see, let's turn it this way, you guys can see that. So I'm going to do all of it, and then I'll hold it up to the camera. This is kind of a neat little, right? I love these little trimmings. One day I'm going to do something with them. So then you would go, let's turn this all the way around. This is perfect condition. This might be a little slow, sorry. So this tool for me is new, and I'm liking it right now. Somebody, I don't remember remember where it came from, but I like it. It's cutting it very evenly, and it's taking just the right amount. So this pottery is called agate ware. Agate is a stone. It looks similar to this, and you can actually do this with, I do it a lot with different color clay. So I'll take a black clay or a darker clay, and I'll mix it with a white clay, and that creates a really beautiful swirl. That's how I kind of started getting into this. And I really love the way that that looks. Okay, so let me just show you guys real quick. Right, so it's got the edges. I don't want to tip it too much, but you can see. Right. So then. So this could be fine. This could be a cup. I would clean up the top a little bit, and that would be fine. However, I'm going to, this is still wet enough, so I'm going to put my hand in here and push this out and kind of give it a round sort of a shape. So I don't put any water on the outside, because you're going to make it mucky again and it will be harder to clean. So you're just going to keep it on the outside. I'm sorry, on the inside. And you're just going to lightly move your hand out. It feels kind of weird if you've thrown before. You'll be like, ah, what's going on? It feels weird. It's not smooth, but it's not supposed to be. So just kind of go with it. You want to go slow. Because you cut the corners, they're obviously not going to be exact thickness. So you don't want to over push it, because you could lose it. So I'll take this off. I'm gonna show you guys this. It's a little bit rounder. You can see it's a little. Right, so I'm gonna do it one more time. Be a little bit more bold with it, maybe. There we go. It's a nice little fat bottom there. Yeah, he looks happy, right? Happy little cup. So that is that. So you wanna clean out the bottom, compact the bottom, make sure that that's nice and strong. You can trim the top. If you don't like this top, you can run a sponge around it. I don't love doing that, but for this purpose I will. You can also trim it, so when it gets leather hard and ready for trim, you can trim into this. Be careful you don't trim all the way through. But this, as is, will work as a cup. It would be a great mug. You put a handle. I have one at the school actually right now that has a little handle on it, and you would do that by just I have marble, the blue clay, and the white clay together, and I don't pull the handle, so I don't add water necessarily. I just give it a good spin to make sure that it's twirled, together, mixed together, and then I would let it set up and just put it right on there. So that's one of the things you could be doing. Another way to throw colored clay, let me get another bat. Hang on a second. Just going to see if there's any questions real quick. My fingers are too wet. Nope, no questions. Okay, good. Where is this? So another way to do colored clay added into your throwing is ooh, that was not great. Let's move that over. So you're just going to center like normal. Sometimes a little wobbly. Doesn't want to stick so well. So for this one, I'll use green clay. You're going, sorry, I had to get a tool. You're going to want to start here. You will take a couple chunks out. Not a lot, just a little. This one is a little trickier because obviously you've centered it and now you are uncentering it. This might have been a little much. Oh, it's okay. So, the green clay. And you can do this, I've seen people, I actually got inspired because people were doing rainbows, which were great. And I didn't have enough time to make enough different colored clays. So you're just going to add the clay into here. I took out chunks that are a little bit big, so I'm going to go with it, but it's a little large. My hands are wet, but you want to roll a caterpillar and place it as best as possible into these cutouts. So yeah, this actually looks way more spectacular with 4 different colors. It's a little loose. Okay. Okay, so you want to center this again as best as possible. Clearly it's wobbly. Okay. I'm going in. Pulling the floor. Condensing the floor. Okay, slow it down. Let's see how this goes. I'm just going to try to pull this a little bit higher. A little bit. See if I can pop out this part. Let's just go with that for now. So, this one's going to look a little different. It should look a little different than the one that I did before. But again, to clean it up, same idea. So it's not quite as integrated. You can see. Okay, so you can see this is more like zebra stripes, I would say. Right, so if you compare this to this, different, right? So that's another way you can throw. You could throw a handle on that, no problem. let's clean this up, and then, where are we at? What time is it? Let's see. Okay. Let me wash my hands for a second. We're gonna do one more with slip casting. I'm gonna show you a little bit about that. Again, if you're working with mason stains, wear gloves. Wear gloves, and also if you don't wear gloves, get a manicure, pedicure, manicure. Get the chemicals out of your cuticles. That's where you hold a lot of the chemicals. So whenever you work in any medium, make sure you take care of your cuticles. And drink detox tea. It helps. So my teacher told me once, and I've done it ever since. So I'm going to move you again. Let's see. There you go. I hope we all like my t-shirt. Made this for you. So this is a slip casting. It has been made in this. This was also actually made this on the wheel as well. Hopefully you guys can see. This one is not ready to come out. So we'll have to do this one first. So I don't know if you can see, but this has layers. So I did clear. I did regular slip casting color on the top, and then I did a red. Let me pull them out. I did an orange, a red, and a deeper red, and then a regular. It's hard. It's kind of hard to see. There you go. You can kind of see it a little bit better. Okay, so this is set up a little bit. It's been pulled out of this, and you can see there's one in there right now. And you're going to want to use carving tools. However, not all carving tools are made equally. So these are from Diamond Core. They are great tools. However, they cost almost $40 per tool, which is outrageous. So the way to get around that is, don't forget to register for my class. I'm reading it. This is sold separately. So this is the blade. This is the blade part up here. You can see that. There you go. The blade. They are $19 for 2 blades. So you get the blades separately from the stick. So the blades, you go to Home Depot or even the dollar store, you get yourself a rod, little wood rod. These are like 50 cents at Home Depot as well. And all I did was I cut the rod and I put a little hole in it and I put the screws in there, and I saved myself probably, I don't know, these are, so the blades $10 each, so almost $30. Okay, so it's worth it. $40 for a tool is outrageous. Don't do it, but they're fantastic tools. So for this, let's see. Let me show you what it's going to look like before, and then I'll show you. So this is going to be black, and you can see the blue in there. So that's just carved out. These are like weeds. So I didn't come up with this. This is not my doing. These are, if you go on Instagram, it is Forest Ceramics Company, and he's fantastic. He's amazing. And this is kind of his design. I've taught myself how to do it just by referencing his Instagram, but also doing my own trial and error. So this all started like this, and you're just gonna carve into this. So you can see you start carving. So we can go down one more and we have an orange. If you can see it up here. Boy, this computer's hard. So let's just do that. It's so hard to see in both of these. So then you can swirl, you can do whatever design you want. You can swirl it. This computer. Okay. Then there's different kinds of, this is a rounder one. You can see it's rounder. So this one is a little more angled. And these are going to make tighter cuts. And you can see. Right, so this is obviously not a design, but this is how you would make a design. And it makes these amazing little cutouts, which are so cool. So this is only 3 colors. I've done ones that are up to 8 colors, and I think Forest Ceramic Company has done one that's like 30 colors or something. It's crazy. He and his partner are amazing. The one last thing I want to just show you. Let's see if I can pull it out. I don't think it's ready. There we go. So this is a swirl. So same idea. I'm running out of time, so I can't do one now. But these will be done in my class, as well as the carving will also be done and the throwing. Facebook. See? Yeah, so those are my demos. Hopefully you guys had fun. And there's a couple other things that we can explore in my class, so check out our catalog. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll go through the questions and see if there are any questions real quick. Let's see. Mud Lily design. I see you. I don't see any questions, so I think you guys pretty much got it. Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for visiting, and yeah, stay strong. Bye. I gotta figure out how to turn it off again.